Hi, I'm Rob.
And I'm Denise.
We're on a 20,000-mile journey, and this is part 2 of that.
Yes. We're in Utah, and what Utah means is national parks. So we're going to take you through Zion, Bryce, Capitol Reef, Canyonlands, and
Arches.
Zion Park lies about 50 miles outside of St. George, Utah. Our daughter bought us a lifetime senior pass for all of the national parks, so we get in free. She also bought us a passport, so when we go to the visitor center, we can have it time-stamped and buy a little picture of that national park to put in the passport. It's a great souvenir.
From the visitor center, you can get a tram, and this will take us to all different points and trailheads all the way throughout the park. We chose to go to the Riverwalk.
We're in Zion National Park, very excited. We're getting ready for our first hike since all my surgeries, but don't look at us, look at this.
It's hard to put into words just how beautiful this place is. And believe me, the pictures don't do it justice.
I was so surprised to see columbine, Colorado's state flowers, growing out of little crevices in these massive cliffs.
They call them the Hanging Gardens.
I made it a mile and a half one way. We're going to take about a half an hour break, and then we're going to go back. I'd like to give a shout out to my physical therapist, Steve. Steve, thank you for helping me make it to this point.
The view going back was totally different. After a few hikes, we decided to drive through the rest of the park. It was magnificent.
Part of that drive was through a mountain, over 1 mile through a mountain. It seemed to take forever. This is the mountain we just drove through. You know how you can tell? Here's the exit, and here's the window. We got up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
You know, there is no such time when you're retired, but that's what it takes to get to this place.
Bryce Canyon, and it's worth it.
Oh my God. These freestanding rocks are called hoodoos, and Pueblans believe they were an ancient people that Coyote the Trickster changed into stone.
I have a picture of my family on this very trail in the 70s. The thing about this trip is we're going through all the national parks, and we've taken hours of footage. Every time we stop in a new place, it looks totally different. As the sun changes on the ground, it looks totally different. So we're gonna try and pick the best views, but I really suggest coming yourself. It's stunning. Out of Zion and Bryce, Zion had more hikes that I could take, but both of them have varied hikes for me. Here only has like 2 little loops I can do, And it's stunning, but it's a much smaller park. So we would have spent 2 days in Zion and 1 day in Bryce.
Hey, it's Memorial Weekday weekend, and we are in Torrey, Utah.
Torrey.
Yeah, it's a small place, but we're so excited to go and see it. Hey.
Yeah. We're talking to you from inside our motorhome because it's so windy outside, you wouldn't hear us. So we're going to go brave the wind.
All right. The town is so small that the chuck wagon is an inn, bakery, general store, a laundromat, and an ATM, which means that it's the only bank in town. Oh, and it's a deli.
And the jewelry in this area is stunning. And this was at the campground.
They're working on the roads all through the national parks. We didn't mind the delay though, because the views were worth it.
Capitol Reef got its name from this rock. They felt it looked like the Capitol Dome in Washington. This park has a little bit of everything that we've already seen, with one exception, the petroglyphs.
Look how lineated the layers of the rock are in this. The road between the national parks held some interesting sights as well.
Then the sky opened up, then the road opened up, and then the desert opened up.
This is Dead Horse State Park Campground in Utah. It's just a few miles from Canyonlands National Park. It has wide open sites which RVers love. Just look at the metal gazebos here to cover up your picnic area. They have solid slabs so your motorhome is perfectly level and plenty of room for the tow car. Being on the edge of Canyonlands, there's also sneak peeks of the park before you get there. It's just beautiful. Dead Horse is a dark sky park, and they had a nighttime stargazing program with telescopes to let you get up close and personal with the stars. We saw a binary star and a star cluster made up of over 200,000 stars. It was breathtaking. All right, here we are at Canyonlands National Park in Utah, and this is the fourth of our national parks here in Utah, and it's absolutely amazing, quite stunning, totally different than anything else we've ever seen.
We did the Mesa Arch and the Grand View Point hikes. But take a look at Aztec Butte. It's only 1.5 miles long, but it has an elevation change of 222 feet. Yikes!
The thing about Canyonlands is that unless you do the harder trails, you remain on top of the canyon looking down. All the other parks, the cliffs towered above us.
And then we ran into somebody from our hometown.
The hikes were over rock, and so they marked the trail with cairns, a stack of stone. The story goes that an early Mormon settler would get upset because the dang livestock done wander into the canyons again.
They have some tough trails here. Those are people down there.
Moab, Utah is home to Arches National Park and Portal RV Resort, a first-class campground, where we saw the world's most luxurious RVs and the newest trend in truck camping.
I loved this laundry room floor. Can you believe it's cement?
So here's our new campsite. It's just beautiful. The road into the park is very steep and windy.
The thing about Arches National Park is you would see these stunning rock formations and then drive miles until you came to the next point of interest.
These majestic rocks standing straight up out of the ground are called fins, and one day, through erosion, they will become arches.
These mounds are called petrified sand dunes.
Look at this rock. Doesn't it look like a hand? So here we are. It's our last national park in Utah. This is the Arches, and as you can see, there's an arch.
It's a north window.
There are over 2,000 arches in this park, and we're going to see quite a few of them. So let's go see some arches.
Well, that's it for Utah. We had a blast. We saw so many things. It was absolutely fabulous.
It was just amazing, you know, so many rocks.
We're a little tired of rocks.
And in this next video, we're going to be traveling across northern New Mexico, and we will have seen so many Native American reservations. And
So
we're going
excited.
to tell you all about them. Hey, thanks for watching. And if you like our videos, please press the subscribe button.